ColbyWan, unfortunately, scary health here, since there is still quite a bit of the route to go
Ooh,
with
actually going for the
Stompers and
damage
Darkroom.
cycle, that's very dangerous on 3 masks.
Mm-hmm.
Means he cannot take another damage from here up until going into D-Dark.
Valley going for the Darkroom. I assume he'll be doing dash strats. Here we go. Yep. Just going through, memorizing where all the platforms are and the best places to dash for them, and gets through without a single issue.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. That always feels super satisfying when you can get through there just holding right the entire way and just with dashes.
For sure.
We'll see if he goes for this weird pogo here. Oh, it does not. Looks like the Crystal Hunter's in too awkward of a spot for it.
Yeah, shooting a bit early, it looks like, giving Valley 1 damage there. However, making it through still very well. We're going to be setting up for an early control, hitting it 7 times, and then once more with a dash slash, making it slide over, fall into the spikes to respawn here and giving us early control while it's giving us Desolate Dive. Very fun trick to pull off.
Yeah, it looks like Colby chose to heal, which I think is a very smart decision. You know, you can get wombo comboed in a lot of these rooms for 2 health, and you really don't want that to happen when your bench is so far away.
Mm-hmm. It's also a chance to get a 3-hit combo. A bit rare, but does happen.
We see Valley going into Dreamnail. Hopefully he'll go for the underplat.
Yes, the underflat. Let's go.
Dreamnail, not a dangerous split necessarily, but definitely a lot of opportunities to, you know, fall in the plats and lose 10 seconds. So hopefully neither runner runs into that specific issue.
Yeah, it looks like Valley is just gradually pulling more and more ahead. About a 40-second differential from getting the D Dark, which is just saving all those little seconds throughout the split, like we said at the beginning, where there's just a bunch of little optimizations that can make or break a really good time to a good time.
Yeah, I would say definitely Crystal Peak is the area where you see those optimizations the most with stuff like Pogax, the damageless cycle, all these little
Yeah.
tricks that don't save that much time, but added up for a top runner are really what separates a good runner from a great runner.
And going left side or right side in key room. Just a bunch of little techniques that are difficult to master. And Valley comes back in now that we've got all that we need. Spawns back in Spire or Watcher's Tower, Watcher's Spire. Holy jeez! And he's going to be fighting the Watcher Knights. Uh, a difficult fight for casual players and any percent runners. However, in all skills, we have Shaman Stone and Descending Dark. It just requires either 3 Descending Darks or 2 Descending Darks and a Shade Soul to be able to kill one Watcher Knight. So it's pretty effective. Tools we have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe fight at this level, but definitely a lot of opportunities to lose time to RNG or just missing small amounts of D Dark or small optimizations.
Looks like
So Valley
Valley
going
might have been
for
a little early.
a double Shade Souls instead of the last D Dark, able to end the fight with a little more soul. And
Nice.
the second pair are treating him very well. They stayed together, which is what you want to see, so that you can hit
Mm.
the D Dark on both of them. Um, a really awkward bounce there. He would have managed to save, I think, 2 seconds if the guy hadn't bounced and just gotten hit by the last part of the D Dark. So a bit unfortunate there, but still a very solid fight from Valley.
There's a couple things that went wrong through that fight, but like you said, very solid. Uh, just very good execution all around. Even if it was a little early at some points, but very well done.
Colby, on the other hand, getting pretty poor RNG. You really don't want the first one to roll.
No.
We'll see how the second pair treats him. Oh, an immediate roll from the first one. That's always what you do not want to see.
The rough, and taking a lot of damage here to throw off those Shade Souls. That oh no, it definitely hit. Okay.
Yeah, so able to get it, but really unfortunate there. He lost a lot of time to just bad RNG.
Still though, being able to
Second pair
execute,
being a little nicer.
yeah, and being able to
Able to
execute
manage to get D-Darks.
even with that poor RNG is quite respectable, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. And we see Valley destroy Lurian. There's a few small optimizations he was doing with the dash slash. Looks like Colby is not going to dash slash the elevator. That does save, maybe 0.1 or so, but it is sort of a nice little optimization that we saw Valley go for.
And with
he gets the Watcher Knight's chest. This is all the geo we're going to need for the rest of the run.
We're coming up to our Isthmus tier split, which is a set of 3 skips, 1 spike tunnel and 2 acid skips, all in rapid concession. Whatever. They're one by one right after each other.
It looks like I believe Colby actually fell out of Lurian, which is a really unfortunate time loss.
Oh wow, yeah, that is unfortunate. The Isthmus skips is known to be one of the 2 major roadblocks to all skills runners, needing a bit of precise movement. However, I'm sure at these runners' levels, we'll be able to see some very well done skips. First try.
It looks like Valley getting the first try spike tunnel. Really nice execution there. There's a couple ways to do this last acid skip. Well, there's 2 ways, really. There's the setup-less and the setup version. I believe Valley is a big proponent of the setup-less version, so we'll see whether he gets that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, being really low on the wall.
Oh.
That's the setup-less because you don't need to be at the precise position you would be normally, and gets the dash jump. Really good execution from Valley, nailing all the skips first try, and getting the early control.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems we didn't really get to see it with the unfortunate restream problems. But trust us when we say he definitely executed it very well, because he got it right. So
looks like Valley having a bit of trouble. Took the 1 intentional damage tank for early control, but also took another bit of damage just from the warrant being in a bad position. So being on 3 health, we'll see how this C dash goes, because this one you can definitely die on 3 health just from poor RNG. Luckily, he gets the good RNG and does not get stopped in his C dash.
Very well. Well, I guess it's RNG, so he didn't really do much, but Colby,
very, very fortunate, I guess.
Colby at the
Colby
Isthmus
having a little more trouble with the spike tunnel. Able to get it, though. Very nice.
And we'll be seeing Valley coming up to the Moloch room here as Colby finishes off the last 2 parts of the Isthmus tier skips. Getting the first acid skip well done. Will he go for setup or setup-less? Looks like a setup situation.
Looks like a setup and nails the setup. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool that we saw, the 2 different strategies, but both runners nailing it. I think that's a great showcase of that specific skip.
Absolutely. Oh, the worm giving an unfortunate pattern, not hitting
and bounces
Colby.
off again.
That
wow,
is
that very unfortunate for Colby.
Giving a little angry smack to the worm afterwards. That is so unfortunate. If that worm comes into you and hits you while you're picking up the Isthmus tier, you'll get early control and be able to leave the room, similar to what Descending Dark was.
Yeah, looks like Valley had a very clean Mollerks.
Yeah.
There's one that's RNG, whether it hits you or not, but the rest are just based on precise positioning. Also nails the base and skip here. This is a similar thing to the setupless Isthmas, where you do a dash jump into a wall, but able to nail both of those. So pretty impressive stuff from Valley.
Indeed, on a very good time here. About Watcher Knights, I would say, is the midpoint of the run. So we're quite into the run now, and Valley doesn't seem to be letting up at all with his run or sorry, he's not. He's still holding on strong. I can't speak to that.
Yeah, it looks like he had a quite good Broken Vessel fight as well. Able to get the 2 double hits with Shade Soul at the beginning, then Broken Vessel almost immediately went into the headbang attack, and Valley was just able to D-Dark him to death after that, which is really nice. The headbang attack is really what you want to see in all skills.
Yeah,
This, I would say, is an excellent Monarch Wing split for Valley.
Yeah. Only taking 1 mask of damage without the entire split is very that's what people really like to see.
Absolutely nailed the Mauler, got those hit lists, nailed the base and skip first try, and a pretty good Broken Vessel fight as well.
Oh, that was very
next,
well done with Colby. Oh.
Ooh, Colby getting hit by that 1 RNG Mauler. That, as you see dash, it's just based on the positioning, maybe FPS dependent, maybe RNG, but you can do the same thing both times and get hit only one of the times on there. So a bit unfortunate for him as Valley moves towards Hornet 2. So one of the harder boss fights in the run. And his stream's dying a bit. Hopefully that's not a predictor of him dying to Hornet 2.
Yeah.
As Colby having a little more trouble with the base and skip, able to get it 3rd try.
Yeah.
Generally, we say like 1st try with that saves a little time. 2nd try about breaks even. 3rd try loses about 1 to 2 seconds. So still a lot of respect to Colby for going for it, especially in a race setting. You know, it's a cool skip. It saves a little time if you get it 1st try, and that's something that we can all be pretty happy about.
Yeah. Colby also gets the 2 doubles and goes right into a headbang phase. This is going to be a very quick fight. Just needs 1 more soul and then dive, and that's it for Broken Vessel. If you get the 2 doubles, you only need to do 4 more D-Darks on the man, or on the Broken Vessel, to be able to defeat it. So very well executed from both runners. And now Valley, just a couple more screens until he gets to Hornet 2. Likely,
we did see Colby enter the fight with a little bit less soul, so did end up having to go a little bit longer, but still a pretty good Broken Vessel fight. We'll see Valley actually skipping the safety bench. You definitely would not expect him to die to Hornet 2, but it can happen, so hopefully he doesn't, because he would have to walk all the way back from somewhere. I think from Muller's. Yeah,
likely Muller's room, basin. But here we go. Oh, the stream's gonna get...
And the stream's dead. A lot of these particle effects in this room can be quite difficult to render, I think, especially on a low bit rate.
It's unfortunate that
getting some nice RNG there with the needle throw, because that's the time when you can D-Dark. Also, I believe got a double. So good stuff from Valley. Hornet 2 behaving, not giving him a lot of parries, which is, you never want to see parry attacks because they're just really annoying, as we see one there.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So Valley having an all right Hornet 2. She did troll him a little bit with some of the jumps and one of the parries, but still able to make pretty quick work.
Yeah, very well executed. And Colby, yeah, like we said, just kind of bleeding time here, unable to get those precise movements that Valley has trained for. Just every split losing a few more seconds, just a few more seconds, and now the lead has become a little more major than it has been before, with about a minute and a half lead, roughly.
See, Valley luckily not invalidating his run. If you release the nail art too early, you gain invisible control, which is a major glitch. For the leaderboard, it invalidates your run. For this tournament, it would be a time penalty. I believe it's 5 seconds, but
yes,
might want to double check that. But luckily, Valley not facing either consequence because he executed the skip perfectly. So Valley heading into Cyclone Slash. This is a pure movement split with only a tiny bit of RNG. Colby, on the meantime, heading into Hornet 2.
Yep. Not a whole lot to say on Cyclone Slash. It's just a lot of C dashes and dashes. So we'll probably be focusing on Colby as he fights Hornet 2. Hopefully doesn't get very many parries as Hornet parries. I say that.
See the
Uh,
first one, oh, and the second one, as well as sort of a really awkward spacing to where he couldn't really get a double, and a
mhm.
third parry. Ugh.
That was a nice
The
double
gets double
there.
on that one. That's what you want to see.
All right. Colby
And a
had a bit
fourth
of a
parry.
rough start. Yeah, but working it out now.
Gets another double there though.
Nice.
We'll see the strategy that Valley goes for in going through King's Pass the other way. There's been a few new optimizations found just in the past month or so. So we'll see whether he goes for that. As Colby manages to take down Hornet 2, she really did not behave, but Colby
No.
able to handle the bad patterns pretty well.
Yeah, it was still a really good fight overall. Not a whole lot went wrong other than the bad RNG from Hornet, of course. Very well executed. And
Valley
Col
going for this is a new optimization, I believe, from Monsteller on the climb between KP and the first room in Cliffs. Able to execute that very cleanly. That's always something that looks really cool to see. And I really feel like whenever you're kind of climbing up a tall room, especially one with a lot of platforms, this is really where the movement of Hollow Knight shines the
I have
most,
to
and where you
agree.
can see all these tiny optimizations that a top runner can save, 0.1 here and 0.1 there. So
Mhm.
really nice to see the good execution there. We'll be seeing a few more of those rooms later.
Yeah, Wings and Claw are just such a nice combination together. Jumping everywhere, clinging and jumping. It's just a lot of fun. But now we'll be coming back to Dirtmouth, where we'll be heading to our second Dreamer. One of the heaviest RNG portions of the game, Umu, the boss fight. There are a couple of ways to one cycle. Valley very recently discovered a new one. Uh,
Ooh, Colby
hopefully,
rescuing another grub.
oh, nice. Hopefully, we'll be able to see some execution here. I mean, if the stream allows it.
Yeah, Umu not as heavily of an RNG based boss as in around like any percent, but still can definitely lose you a lot of time just due to the RNG.
Mhm.
However, there's no pattern from Umu that makes you unable to one cycle. There are a lot of patterns that are significantly harder to do it, but there's no pattern that makes it impossible, which is nice to see in all skills. A run that's one of the I guess more consistent runs.
Mhm.
So Valley goes for an optimization with the cyclone drop in this room.
Actually, from what I've heard, I don't believe Valley's new one cycle has a backup strat yet for an extra attack. I wonder if there actually is one from Valley, and he just hasn't revealed it yet. And maybe we'll see it right here. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think this is one of the only times when we've actually wished for an extra attack from Umu.
Yeah, isn't that ironic? And we'll be seeing that right here as Valley drops down a cyclone.
Cyclone drop there just a tiny bit faster than the inventory drop. Um, I think in general, there's a lot of inventory drops that we're
Oh,
recently discovering are not quite worth it.
it
Sort of
looks
a
like
funny
Valley
thing to see.
is actually going for the regular one cycle instead of the new one he discovered.
Yep, luring Umu a little bit lower, then going to go up to the top
Oh,
platform to lure it a little bit higher.
okay. Umu was moving a little short there, so I was worried it might have been an extra attack, but nope.
Gets both doubles and gets the one cycle. That's just a textbook, really clean one cycle from Valley. We'll
Very
see if
well
he gets the
done.
wall cling storage as well. Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
And
one of
the
my
air
favorite
jump.
wall cling storage in the run.
It looks very pretty. Well, I'm definitely going to be questioning Valley about that in the post interview. But now that Valley is going to get the Monomon Dreamer here, we'll see Colby coming up to it here, having to go through Fog Canyon. There are a number of ways to do this drop that Colby will be coming up to. We saw Valley with a Cyclone Slash version. I wonder what version Colby will go for.
Yeah, there's kind of three versions. There's the Trinomi drop, which is just kind of dropping and avoiding all the platforms. There's what we call the Axe drop, that is that plus an inventory drop for part of it. And then there's the All Skills version where you do a mini Cyclone as well. So
All right.
we'll see whether Colby goes for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, does get hit there. That's a bit unfortunate there with the Luma flies.
Yeah. Maybe a little not far left enough, or even going a little too quick, perhaps. Not entirely sure how that happened, but did get hit, causing quite, or not quite a bit, just a bit more time loss, putting him slightly
Yeah,
more.
luckily, Umu is not a boss that's too dangerous in terms of actually dying to it. So three health is not too bad for Colby. I definitely would not expect to see an Umu death, which I should not have said that out loud because now I'm worried about the calm curse. But we'll see how he goes, and if he goes for a one cycle, if he gets it. Valley going for a cyclone on these planks.
Mm-hmm. Getting the RNGC dash through the Umu there, or whatever those mid-sized jellyfishes are called. And
Valley
Colby,
going for a very clean climb on the fog canyon up to Green Path. That's another one of those climbs that I was talking about earlier with the climbing up a vertical room.
Colby's going for the same one cycle setup as Valley. Yeah, got it
And
too.
got it. Nice.
Would love to see it.
Really clean from both runners to get that one cycle.
Definitely. And here we're coming up to Great Slash. Another pretty movement intensive category similar to Cyclone Slash. This one a little more interesting, however, with all of the
Yeah, there's been a lot
well-timed free
of small
dashes.
optimizations that have been found just in the past couple weeks. A lot of people have been ILing it, trying to get on the comp sub sheet, and I think that particular comp sub has actually gone down by multiple seconds just during the course of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And the music here is always so good.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And with that, we'll be ending our cyclone a bit early, or sorry, our sea heart a little early, so we don't just fly into the vines there. And we're gonna
Valley
come
going
up.
for that swag little wall jump. There's a very small amount of that right wall that you can climb up at the bottom. It's a bit precise because if you're too high, you'll go into thorns. If you're too low, you'll just fall back down. But Valley able to get it and having a fairly clean split. Few minor mistakes, but overall, definitely something that I think he can be happy with in a race setting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
See, Colby actually going for another optimization that we saw from Valley going for the left side archives exit as opposed to the right side that you'll see a lot in either any percent or just in a lot of all skills runners that are used to the old movement. This again something that been timed very recently with the timer mod. We've seen a lot of small optimizations, and that's one of them that is just a really cool optimization.
Definitely. I wonder how much time left side saves. It can't be like more than a second, right?
Oh, definitely not more than a second. I would say
Yeah.
probably like 0.2, 0.3.
It's amazing. Anything though to give us that little bit of time, lower and lower.
Exactly, especially as all skills is getting so much more optimized.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Valley
Colby
come.
attempting the airwalk, unfortunately, was just a little bit too far to the right and didn't quite go over the seam at the right point.
Yeah.
Just going to be a tiny time loss, though, as Valley goes through this squid arena.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect
quite clean
execution
execution from Valley.
on the Great Slash.
Yeah, sometimes those squids can be pretty annoying, as they fly around, they dash when you don't want them to. But
Mm-hmm.
Valley able to make quite quick work of that. It's a pretty impressive arena.
Yeah, very well done. Still full health, full soul for the upcoming Dark Rooms going into Beast's Den. Or sorry, I guess Dark Deep Nest is probably a better way to say it. We still have Queen's Gardens to worry about, though. It's a fairly easy split. And with the amount of practice these people put in, I'm sure they'll be able to get through it without any issues.
We see Colby actually going for another strat that's pretty cool. We saw Valley go for it as well, where he pogos off the background object instead of off the enemy, and that just has a bit fewer lag frames. Very small optimization, but something that I really like to see, especially since it's something that could be PC dependent before and now is a little more consistent.
Mm-hmm. No underplat from Valley. Boo.
Ooh,
Oh, and
actually,
actually, yeah.
missing the hazard thing. I never know what to call it because I know like Thorn Jump is something, Thorn Warp is something, and that's something else. But just a cool trick there that's on the 1-2-2-1 version where the hazard respawn is incorrectly placed, and so you can end up at the bottom of the platform.
Yep. And this is the last section before we're going to be coming up to Dark Deepness, just a fun dash area where you avoid a few enemies, collect a bit of soul, and then we're going to drop down here, and we're on our way to Dark Deepness after this. Oh, going for a second, unfortunately missing the
It does
edge
hit the
there.
platform.
Yeah, and it stops them a bit early, but that's okay. Here we are in Dark Deepness. Near impossible to see anything, but the runners know exactly where they are at all times. Not going for... Ooh. All right, you know what? One
You're
health.
not going for all the inventory drops here. I think there are some of the inventory drops that are more safety strats for those rooms as opposed to actually time saves. Valley having a pretty clean room up until the end where he got hit by the spider, but overall, I think going to be pretty happy with this split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a strat where you descend in dark if you feel you need your health there, but taking the 1 damage is probably going to be a bit better for Valley than having 1 less soul, especially since we can
Yeah, we'll
kill.
see. There's something that a few people will do where they will, instead of going out the right side of the room after Hera, they'll actually kill the Devout on the left side again. So it's something that it only saves time if you enter Beast Den with full soul, but we'll see if Valley goes for it. As he also goes for a new optimization with the full right side climb up to Hera, going up those platforms instead of going over to the left wall, then back to the right. It does save a little bit of time when executed well, but is also a little bit harder. But Valley able to do it quite well.
Yeah. We'll be sucking up Hera here, and we'll see if Valley goes out left or right. So Valley's
Colby, on the
on...
other hand, moving through Queen's Gardens, able to get a quite clean Petra Arena. We'll see if he goes for Underplat. Ooh, and gives the people what they want.
That's
Nails
what we're
that skip
for.
first try. Nice.
Valley is on a very good time here, looking like perhaps maybe not quite a 50 flat, maybe a 51, depending on a few RNG segments.
Yeah, there's
But
definitely a lot of room for Valley to lose time in these next splits, both due to RNG as well as due to some difficult execution that's required, both in the THK fight as well as the Abyss climb. So hopefully it all goes well for him. We'll see how he fares in these splits.
yeah, we're definitely seeing a very good time on our hands, though.
Absolutely, yeah. Colby too. He's been behind, but still on pretty good pace. I'm not sure where this stands relative to his PB, but he really hasn't made any, massive mistakes. Like he hasn't had any deaths or any like huge time losses. So
Well,
I'm
that
really
is
good to see that
true.
from a run. We're both runners. It's not just a total blowout because one runner like dies to Hornet 2 or whatever.
Actually, Colby's PB is on SRC anyway, is a 54.06. I believe he is on pace to beat
Uh-oh.
that right now. Ooh, that was
Okay,
scary.
Colby playing with our hearts a bit, falls off the platform, but able to make that save in the dark. That's pretty impressive. And luckily does not have to climb all the way back up because in the dark, that can be very fraught with peril.
Looks like Valley got the wall clean storage on the door there. Always exciting to see. And we'll be coming up to Sibling Climb once we transfer through a few rooms here. Something a little scary depending on where the siblings drift to, but there are fairly consistent ways of dealing with them, mostly smacking their heads with a nail, pogoing on them.
Yes, this is one of 2 climbs that we're going to be seeing from the next few splits. It's the less consistent one for sure because sibling spawn placements and how they move is determined by RNG. But luckily, Valley, he did have a bit of awkward RNG where he had to go around some platforms that he would have preferred to go over, but doesn't get hit, which is really important.
Very well done.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we'll be coming to our second to last skill in the game, Shade Cloak. There is a little optimization where we quit out. It's actually slower in real time, but because we are on a loadless timer, it saves about 10 seconds actually. Yeah, so we're going to quit out here, wait for the load to bring us back to the screen, and then load back in. Actually, maybe because Valley's computer is very quick, it doesn't save or doesn't lose that much time in real time. But if you're on a rougher computer, it probably real time does not. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily it's you get the item at the beginning of the cutscene instead of the end, which is nice kind of for that little optimization. See Valley going into the Abyss Streak split. This is one that has also seen a few new optimizations just since the start of the tournament. Valley goes for some of them, like that pogo off the background object.
Mm-hmm.
So Colby has managed to now destroy Hera, and he's going to be heading over to the Abyss. We'll see how the sibling climb goes for him. As
Nice.
Valley goes for another small optimization, he hits the Crawlid twice, then goes for a C-dash that does the last bit of damage, and another small optimization where he starts the Abyss Streak animation from the middle of the room, and that means that the animation won't pull him into the middle of the room. Instead, he can just move into it beforehand, and that saves a little bit of time.
So, according to chat, Colby is only 15 seconds behind PB pace. Excuse me. So we might see a little bit of a PB here, depending if he can catch up. But it looks like he's just on pace, which is still, for a race setting, incredibly good.
So we'll see the Abyss climb from Valley, able to execute pretty well so far. Not going for the small optimization, going to the left side of the platform, but able to go here, coming up on the triple spike pogo, 1, 2, 3, and perfectly executed. Gets another pogo here. It goes on that side of the platform, pogo, pogo, and excellent execution from Valley.
Yeah,
That is a really good Abyss climb.
it really is. And Colby not quite getting the best RNG with the siblings, however, makes it through
Yeah,
very
Colby
well.
actually getting very awkward RNG, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Had to kind of go around some of those middle platforms, but doesn't get hit. Able to remain on his health for Shade Cloak. So that's definitely very fortunate in terms of not dying, even though the RNG was not on his side.
We'll be seeing Valley coming up to finish off the run here. The Hollow Knight, the last boss of the run. This is a full game run, so we do need to defeat the Hollow Knight. And people say it's quite easy. You just shriek him a whole lot of times, or sorry, Abyss shriek him a whole lot of times. It does the most damage out of any other ability in this game. So we'll see. I can't
Yeah, it's
speak.
definitely it's sort of one of the easier fights to survive, but it's a really hard one to get fully optimized. So we'll see how Valley goes. This is also a very heavily RNG based fight because some of the attacks, like the dashes, you really don't have the opportunity to get good shrieks on. It's funny because it's sort of the opposite of any percent where you want to see the dashes to get doubles.
Mm.
So Valley went for the Cyclone chains, able to get, I believe it was a 2 and 3, like 2 hits on the first chain, 3 hits on the second. If you get at least 5 chains, 5 hits on the chains, it does save time. So that's going to be a nice little time save for Valley.
Hmm.
He's maybe on pace for a low 51, maybe even a 50 flat if he has a really good THK fight.
Yeah.
Getting pretty awkward RNG a bit so far because he's getting a lot of jump backs as Colby gets Abyss Streak. We'll see Valley use Abyss Streak a lot against THK.
This is actually turning out to be quite a clean fight from Valley, pumping out
Absolutely,
quite a bit
yeah.
of damage, getting some good dashes into.
And he
Not
skips the first scream. That's
nice.
something you always love to see.
knows
goes for the scream
exactly what
skip
the
and
damage
gets
is.
it. Nice.
Wow.
He knew that he was already getting there on the perfect line, and Valley absorbs the Hollow Knight as Colby begins his Abyss climb. Colby going for a few sort of safer strats, more consistent strats, as opposed to the strats Valley was going for, but able to execute them quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Valley on pace for a low 51, which is really good for a race setting.
Quite a clean sibling climb. Yeah.
GG to Valley. And Colby falling a little. I think still going to be pretty happy with this Abyss climb. Only had a few minor mistakes, nothing too major, and didn't dunk into spikes at all.
Yeah. A 51.10 from Valley. Actually, it's an incredibly good time for a race setting.
Absolutely. And even sort of relative to his PB, that's, I believe, something like 40 seconds slow, which is, whenever you can play within a minute of your PB in a no reset setting, I think that's always, something that's really good, especially in a race, because you want to take a few more safe strats there to keep the safety of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we'll be seeing Colby coming up to THK like Valley did. It's hard to get as good of a fight as Valley did, but
Yeah, it was an
hopefully,
excellent fight.
yeah, Colby will be able to execute something similar.
The great slash to get early control there. That's kind of one of the things I really like about all skills is at the end of the run, you do the great slash to get early control in the well. When you're going to Umu, you do Cyclone to get early control in the well. And then when you're going to Sea Peaks, you do the dash slash to get early control. So it's kind of cool to see sort of that evolution to where you get all three nail arts to gain early control at different parts of the run.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Each one for different point of the run. That's fun. And here we are. Colby's flying through Dark Black Egg Temple, making it to the last boss.
Coming in with quite a bit of soul, which is nice.
Oh yeah, that's true. 2 free casts of Shriek, or Wraiths, sorry, and only needs 2
Does
hits.
not go for the Cyclone chains. It's a bit more consistent to just go for the nail hits. And so we'll see how he does on THK. Able to start with a Shriek. Ooh, immediately sees a dash, which is unlucky. Oh, and another dash.
Yeah, Colby seems to be a little less practiced with Hollow Knight, it seems.
Yeah, the parries actually are not a bad attack to get, as opposed to the way they are on Hornet 2, because he stands still when he does a parry, or it stands still when it does a parry, and it's a nice opportunity to get a Shriek in. Colby able to get a Scream skip on the second Scream, gets the first Scream skip by doing enough damage, then gets the early control by taking damage.
Yeah.
Able to get this attack. This is a nice opportunity to get Shrieks if you have the right spacing, but the spacing is quite difficult. And able to get the bullet hell attack. This is one of the more dangerous attacks, but you also get the opportunity to do a lot of damage. Ooh,
Nice.
Colby playing it very, very dangerously, but able to, it pays off because he manages to actually skip the last Scream with damage. So really pays off for him. Colby not getting the best RNG for Hollow Knight, but able to make quite quick work of Hollow Knight regardless.
Very good.
I believe he's just going to be a bit behind PB, but still a very respectable time for Colby. I think he can really be proud of this run.
Absolutely. In a race setting, he's only 20 seconds off his PB. That is crazy. That is so good.
So now that we have the GG, we'll see if we can get both runners in here for an interview.
Both of them are marked as done. Valley's already in the setup. We'll see Colby hopefully joining soon. And then we'll get a post-race interview. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type them out in chat. Hello there, Valley. Congratulations.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Colby.
What's up? Good race.
GG, Colby.
Colby, I'm not sure if your SRC is totally correct, but if it is, you're only 20 seconds off your PB. That
is
awesome.
correct. 19.2 to be precise.
That is awesome. Congrats on that. Good run.
Thank you. I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah. And Valley, congrats on your win again.
Yeah, thanks.
You raced quite well.
So I guess I'll start by asking: is there anything that you guys want to say about that race? Any specific moments that stood out?
I don't know. It felt quite sloppy on my end. I don't know why I couldn't like just focus at all up until probably Crystal Peaks, and me like going for all sorts of swag strats probably didn't really help, because it was like I was trying to go for all of them to gain some kind of confidence, but I failed nearly every one of them, so it didn't help at all.
Oh no. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Like-
see that impressive backup though on the Pogax.
That was actually not like a bad RNG. It was just execution mistake. I just actually missed the axe, the pickaxe.
right. Well,
Really happy to back it up.
yeah, that looked very impressive. The backup, quite fun.
I didn't even try to back up mine. I just went.
Yeah. Valley, a few people might be a little disappointed that you didn't go for the new Umu one cycle you discovered. Is there?
Oh, you didn't do your own.
Well,
Is there-
it's actually not even my discovery. It was like Underline who labbed it out for current patch. I just ported it over to 1.2.1
Oh,
for
fair
memes, and then people actually find it like useful. So that's good, I guess.
enough. Are you saying it might not be better than the original one
Oh,
cycle?
it's actually way easier than original one cycle, but still.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is there any backup yet for extra attacks for that new one cycle?
Oh yeah, sure. You just kind of wrap around, like swim in the acid beneath the Umo and make sure that Umo doesn't go too low onto the platform, so you can still kind of push it away with nail hits.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I imagine it would be close to like the any percent.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
It's just like any percent 1-2-1 backup, but you don't dunk in acid, so you just kind of adjust for it a little bit. It's
That's
like not like a rocket science or anything.
fair enough. Anything you two want to work on in particular with your runs?
I think for me, it's mostly the boss fights. I can't think of anywhere else that I'm losing a lot of time to like everyone who's godlike at this game. But I got one thing I was happy about was getting the underplat in Queen's Garden.
Nice.
Yo, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
I
best
haven't
underplat.
seen. I didn't watch like the race back, but it's definitely like highlight.
For sure. In Valley, I think you had to take 2 tries at.
yeah. Second try. Yeah, that's exactly what
You
I
gone
was
for the
thinking of.
underplat, I guess.
No, I didn't go for the underplat. I just kind of missed the normal strat.
Well, still very well done. Anything you would like to work on, Valley, for the future?
Oh, I messed up Mighty Spogo 2 races in a row, but I'm not sure if I need to work on it because outside of the race conditions, basically never fail it. But I don't know. I think I just need to better mentally prepare for the race because yeah.
What's preparation? I haven't played the game since my last race.
Oh, I played the game, but yeah, I took a break for like maybe for a few days after I got the PB recently. So I
feel like quite a few people are starting to get a bit burnt out on Hollow Knight, on speedrunning on all skills. Understandably so. It is quite a bit of pressure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But both of you, well, Valley for sure is going to make it to top 16 now. Colby, I believe you've got a tie.
I don't think I have a chance.
No?
Since we're doing opponent win percentage, my first 2 opponents dropped out.
I see. Fair enough.
So it was 0% wins. I don't know how they're counting it, but I think Slorent only had 1 win before dropping out.
Right.
So it'll be tough for me to make that cut, but that's all right.
Yeah. Well, Valley, good luck in top 16.
Thanks a lot. It was definitely a fun bracket, and yeah, I definitely agree that there's like some all skills burnout that it's like it just kind of feels around. So hopefully we won't see too much over like dropouts, and it will be all right.
Douglas, do you have?
I think once it starts bracket time, well, pretty much everyone that's in brackets is super into it, and so I think they're wanting the competition. But
Yeah,
should be
yeah,
good.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think definitely the change from like Swiss to the brackets, just kind of bringing any change is definitely gonna pump people back up.
Very much agreed.
Showy Rhombus 943 in the chat, as well as follows, my friend. Thank you for believing in me, even though his PB is better than my summer best. Also, Showy Rhombus, I see you talking about wanting to speedrun it and stream it. If your console has native streaming capabilities, then all of your streams get auto-saved on Twitch for a certain period of time. You just make a highlight on Twitch in your channel.
Yeah, there's good ways to stream Hollow Knight from any platform.
And if you're looking to get into it, there are video guides on YouTube for basically every category. So find your category, join the Discord.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah. We're always looking to increase our numbers. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess if that about
any
wraps
last
us up, then thanks a ton to Valley and Colby for putting on a great race, to Sylvie for commentating with me, as well as to SpeedGaming and Insomnia and Pisces for organizing all this.
And thank you, Douglas.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us. It was definitely fun race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Be sure to follow commentators as well for
As
their
well as the
awesome job.
runners.
See you next race. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.